All right, here we go.
Okay.
I think we're live, right? Are we live now?
We are past technical difficulties. We're live.
We apologize for the technical difficulties. I guess it was the Zoom or the Facebook trolls must have blocked us. Who knows, you know?
Something was not syncing up, but we are here now. So if you are still here with us, thank you for holding tight and welcome. I am Sam Shukavage, and with me as always is my dad, Dave Shukavage, the president and founder of Carolina Retirement Planners, and also, dealing with all these technical difficulties and making sure that we got to you today is Amy Dresky, our director of client fun. Hey, Amy.
That was crazy. I don't know what was going on, but we got it fixed. So sorry about that.
Sometimes you just have to turn it off and turn it on again.
You know what? Right? You know what it was? You know what I bet you it was? It was probably because I set this this little event for us to go live at 4:30 a.m. That's probably what it was. I was tricking Facebook. They didn't know what I was doing. So sorry.
Yeah, anybody wants to
start up at 4:30 a.m. for our happy half hour.
Yeah.
We're so sorry.
If you would rather wake up at 4:30 a.m. for one of these, let us know. Maybe we can change our time.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Why don't you welcome everybody, Sam? They don't even know who we haven't had a chance to tell them who we are yet.
Well, I did. I just did that.
Okay.
Well, I just did that. We're all thrown off after 108.
100% my fault. This is number 104.
How many 108 successful, smooth 2 years of smooth sailing. No, we're not very used to technical difficulties, but thank y'all for bearing with us. So Deb, before we get into it, I think we're talking about annuities, right? The good, the bad, the ugly.
The good, the bad, the ugly, kind of give people an overview of what it all means and all the ins and outs. They're the key things. That's what it's a topic that's usually very popular, and we haven't done it, I think, on Happy Half Hour for a year or over a year. So it is probably time to revisit it. It's even more important right now because the changes in interest rates have made it even better or more interesting. So anyway.
Yeah. And we always like to talk about what day it is, right?
It's National Chili Dog Day.
I'm very excited about National Chili Dog Day. My husband and I were planning on going out to dinner tonight. We haven't decided where, but I'm leaning towards someplace that I can get a chili dog.
It would seem appropriate. I don't know where a good chili dog.
Definitely.
There used to be the Holly Stop or the Trolley Stop.
Trolley Stop. Yeah, the Trolley Stop is iconic Wilmington.
But that's on the beach.
They're all over. Well, they used to be all over downtown or all over town. I think do they still have, I think that there's still one on College Road. There used to be one downtown. There's still one at Wrightsville Beach. I'm not really sure where they are anymore.
Yeah, Matt loves Wrightsville Beach. Yeah, Matt, my boyfriend, he loves those, loves them. So yeah.
If you're near a PT's, they're known for their burgers. I happen to like their chicken sandwich. But if you haven't had their hot dog, they have an excellent hot dog, and they're an excellent chili dog. So yeah, I love a good chili dog.
But wait, more importantly, you guys need to do like a little bit of talking about everybody's favorite Clint Eastwood movie. That was a big thing today. Yeah,
we did. We asked in the email that we sent out what everybody's favorite Clint Eastwood movie was. And
Dirty Harry won hands down. So
Dirty Harry was the winner.
Yeah, I'm a little embarrassed to say I've actually never seen a Dirty Harry movie. I mean, is that so bad? I don't know. That's awful, right? Sorry.
Coming in second was The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Huh.
And then third was Every Which Way But Loose.
Yeah, I like the movie. That was funny. That was a good movie. I like that. That was good. Yeah. But I have to say my favorite of all time personally was Unforgiven, which didn't make the list. So I mean, whatever.
Aw. You
Yeah.
could
So
have put
many
it on the
movies
list.
to choose from.
I could have, but I didn't. So
Well,
what
we're
about you?
already a little, let's say hello to folks. We're a little behind and then we need to get going because people are here to learn something. I see that Miranda has joined us once again. Jean and Debbie, another couple regulars are
I
here.
don't know if you missed this though. Bruce has been here and he's been drinking Bloody Mary since 4:30 this morning.
I love it.
Bruce,
Bruce
I missed
is
that.
so
I
great.
missed that.
And Anne is here too. Hey, Anne. Sorry, he
And
didn't scroll
Phil,
up far enough.
Phil is here. Teresa, a
Teresa,
regular,
our
regular.
regular Teresa.
I know that lady.
Pierogi eating regular.
Mm-hmm.
Mary, our own Mary. And Kim is here. Ed is here as usual. Kathleen, it is good to see you joining us. Although you have never eaten a chili dog,
Well,
you
if
have
you like chili and you like hot dogs, I would highly recommend a chili dog. They're awesome.
It's always good to have a few things left in life that you haven't experienced yet. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick is Patrick and Pat are here. Paul, good to see you. And Ed votes for Gran Torino. When is the one where he sat there was a Western one? They said, should we bury him? And he spit and said, birds got to eat same as worms. I always thought that was a great line. But
Clint Eastwood has
Brad,
tons of great lines.
And
Brenda.
so Brenda, our own Brenda, says hi to everyone. So
All right, Dad. Well, we started a few minutes late here, so why don't we get you into this? All right.
Okay, with all goes,
Magical over there. Disappearing
got to
and
get everything
reappearing.
set. Okay, today we are going to talk about the annuities, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I'll tell you, in the past 20 years, I think one of the frequent questions I get or comments I get from people is that, David, what are these annuities? It seems like everybody either says, I should buy an annuity, it's the best thing since sliced bread, it's the only thing I should own, or you should never buy an annuity, it's tools of the devil or something, and so where does this truth lie? How do we have these two pieces? And hopefully today will help clear some of the basics of that up. Part of it comes about because there are actually four main kinds of annuities, maybe some others too, but we're going to limit it to four. And the first one is an immediate annuity. And I'm betting that many of you out there have an immediate annuity because, where's my blue one? There's my blue one. Because another name for immediate annuity is pension. If you worked for a company and when you retired, you got a pension, what that company did is they took a chunk of money and they gave it to an insurance company, and that insurance company said, I'll pay you so much for the rest of your life, or maybe so much for you and your spouse if they live, whoever dies last, they all get this money. So they give you income you can't run out of. Really nice to have. They're less and less used these days. They've been replaced with 401ks. Companies don't want to take the responsibility, but that's a nice thing. And you can actually go out if you want to and buy one for yourself. Pay me an income I can't outlive. There's some better ways to skin that cat now, but they're still available. And the few places we use them, if we get someone in their late 80s, 90s who has a chunk of money and they're healthy and they want to make sure they don't outlive, they can pay really well. This second kind of annuity is the fixed annuity. And a fixed annuity, what happens is you go to an insurance company and you give them some money and they go and invest it in bonds, mostly government bonds, very safe bonds, and those bonds produce interest. Now, whenever you buy a financial product from a company, it's really good to know how they make their money. So how does the insurance company that you're buying annuity from, how do they make money? Well, what happens is each year as these bonds produce interest, they take a little bit off for themselves to cover their costs and their profit, and then they put the rest back into your annuity, and you can get a guaranteed rate. And the rate's usually better than you can get at things like CDs and money markets. In fact, Sam, do you know for like a 3-year fixed annuity, what's the current rates running at?
Yeah, right now it's about 4%.
So if right now you can get about 4%, that's probably twice as much as it was a year or two ago, because interest rates are going up. So and it's nice. It's kind of like a CD. You put it in, they'll pay you so much a year for X years. There's an advantage if the money, your annuity is not an IRA, it's just regular money. As it grows, you don't have to pay taxes on it. If it was a CD, every year when they reported your interest, you'd have to pay the tax. But annuity lets you defer it till you actually take it out and spend it. The disadvantage is, well, you got to leave it there for those X years, and there's a penalty if you take it out early. So that's what a fixed annuity is, and they're just another alternative place to put money if you want to grow it safely and have the tax advantages.
Yeah, and have a predictable amount of interest that you're earning.
Predictable amount of interest and higher than, and it's just people. A lot of people like the safety and security of this, and the tax advantages. Now, if we go back about 27 years to about, I think it was 1995 was the first time they occurred. The insurance companies are sitting there and they're saying, people give us money and we get this interest. We'll take a little bit off the top for ourselves, but what could we do with this to get more return, more money for our clients? And somebody figured, hey, we could take this interest and we could buy calls on the market. We could place a bet that the stock market's going to go up over the next year. And if the market goes up, we make money. We're going to take that winnings and we're going to put it back into bonds where it's locked in and safe. So we kind of started down here. And the first year we went up 1 click. Now the second year comes along and they take the interest and they buy calls on the market. And again, we have another good year. The market goes up and they take the winnings and they put it back into bonds where it's safe. Now you can't get all the gain in the market because all they have to work with is the interest coming off the bonds. You know, it's not big enough to get an entire call in the market, but you can usually get a limit. I can get 40 or 50% of the growth in the market, or I could get the first 3, 4, 5, 8% of the growth in the market, and I can lock that in each year. So it's not, you know, it'd be nice if you could get all the growth and lock it in every year, but there are compromises. Then we come to the third year. And I always use red to be dramatic.
You need to draw into your bubble for your second year. Yeah.
Here's my thank you. Here's the second year. So we went up 2 years. Now, we take the interest, we place calls on the market. And this year the market falls. Maybe it falls 40%, you know, like 2008 or 2020 or whatever year, drops way down. even below where it was when we went in, the calls are worthless. We lost our bet. But let's think about it. Is the money we put in originally safe?
Yes.
Yeah. How about the winnings the first year that we took the winnings and put them back into bonds?
Yes.
How about the second year?
Yes.
So if you look at what really happened to the money, we didn't make any money, but we didn't lose any money. We kept that amount we had locked in.
So you just stayed the same. All you lost was the interest from the bonds that you
Just
used
lost
to
the
place the
interest.
bet.
But got to keep all our prior winnings. Now, we come to the fourth year. We take the interest, we buy calls on the market. But you know, we're buying calls at this new low, and we get a new zero. So if the market goes up, we don't have to get back to where we were or even back to where we put the money in. We get a new zero. So if it goes up from here, we make that money. We make the gain from the new zero, which since our money's really up here, it goes up from there. And that goes back in and we lock it in again. And they call this indexing. And that's why these are called fixed indexed annuities. You're not actually in the market, you're just indexed to something that the market's in.
I see.
And here, I've watched this now for 20 some years that I've been in the business. I've watched how smarter they've got. It used to be you could just get 1 year calls on the S&P or the Dow. Then they added the Hang Seng and the Euro stocks and other different indexes. Then they got smarter and they said, hey, instead of a 1 year call, if we went to a 2 or a 3 year call, we could get a bigger percentage of the growth because the longer your calls, the more you could buy. Then they figured out other fancy indexes to index to because they could get even a bigger percentage because they're more predictable. So it was a lot of great changes in the market over that time period. And the other thing that has changed in the last few years, the last 3 to 6 months is interest rates have gone up on these bonds. And so when they're buying these calls, they're able to get 2-3 times more gains and lock them in than they could even a year ago. So it's been an interesting world here. They're improving the product all the time. Now there's a disadvantage. The disadvantage is, they're saying, hey, if you're going to give us this money and we're going to buy 10-year treasuries and things like that, you just can't go cash it in a year or two later because we've made long-term commitments to treasuries and we set this all up. So usually they say, look, you got to leave it here, typically 10 years, 7 to 12 years. You got to leave it there. If you take it out early, you can take 10% out without any problem. But if you take out more than that, we're going to ding you, just like cashing a CD in early, but higher. So it's not a place to put money you intend to buy a boat with or a cabin in 3 years. But if this is money for your long-term retirement, that's pretty nice to know you got something where the money can't go down.
Absolutely.
There are ways you could incorporate this into your plan. One of those ways is you could say, I'm going to take and I'm going to put some of my money on offense, where I'm going to put it in the stock market, where if they go up and down, I'll go up and down, but I can have really good years, but at the same time I can have bad years. And then I can put some of it on defense. No, it's not working real well. I can put some of them on defense where I'm using this, so I'm protected on the upside. in really good years, I'll use my stocks to live off of because I might as well spend my gains while they're there. If the market's down, you take it out of your defense and you let your offense recover. So some ideas there. Now, there's a fourth kind of annuity, because I'm talking about there being good, bad, and ugly. And there's a fourth kind of annuity. I might call them the bad annuities. Now, Sam and I are a little biased, aren't we, Sam? We don't sell these. And
we are, yes.
Yeah. What a variable annuity is instead of putting it into bonds, they figured out eventually that, wow, if we put it into usually mutual funds, stock, mostly mutual funds, we're going to invest this in the stock market. And the nice thing is if it goes up, I don't pay tax on it while it's going up, but it's not protected from going down. It can still go down because it's based on the bond. But they can make, my bias is the financial industry. This is done mostly by stockbrokers and companies like that. They say, wow, we can make a lot of money on this. And what's the other big funny thing, the disadvantage of this, Sam, that we find when we open the can and look inside?
Oh, are you talking about the fees?
The fees.
Yeah.
People will come in with a variable annuity, and we love sitting there. We'll call up the company with the person there because they'll talk to us if the owner's there. And if you know what to ask the questions on the fees, you find out, well, there's a fee for the mutual funds inside. There's a fee for the annuity. There's usually a death benefit that says, oh, if we lose your money and you wait to die, we'll give you back what you started with. So we'll charge you basically buying a life insurance policy there. But the funny thing is, if it's bigger than the original amount, you're still paying for the life, even though you don't really get it if you die. A lot of things, it's not unusual when we sit there to see 3 to 5% fees on a variable annuity.
Yeah.
This is the I hate annuities. When you hear I hate annuities, this is usually what they're talking about because they're
Tend to be high risk, higher fees.
High risk, higher fees. Now we're biased. We don't, if someone who sold these was given a happy half hour, they might be telling you the great thing, but I'm going to give you our part. Now that's the bad. We have one left.
All right, you got to tell it quick though, Dad, because we started late. So
I know we started a little late, but we're going to may run a little bit over.
I guess it's still 30 minutes,
Yeah, forgive us if we.
Happy half hour and 5 minutes.
To sell a fixed or a fixed indexed annuity, all you need is an insurance license. You got to get your insurance license and you can sell them. And then usually when you sell that, you get some kind of commission for the company. So a lot of people, they go off and they want to sell this. You ever get one of those, invitations to a chicken dinner somewhere and you go in there and they just try to pitch your annuity, or even worse, this is from July 31st of 2016. It's about 6 years ago, almost to the day. And remember, at that time, interest rates were like 0. And they're giving an ad here that says, money market, 6-month bonus rate, 4.98%, or 6-month CD, 4.2% insured and guaranteed by the great First Financial Guarantee Company. And they give you a number to call. Well, what happens is somebody, and I'm going to just give you a hypothetical person, a little old lady by the name of Olive Oil. She has a CD down at Acme Bank, and it's hard to tell anymore. Banks change so fast, but she had a CD at the bank, and it was paying her 5% before, and it came up, and they said, well, it's going to renew at 0.1%, and she's just in tears. I'm not earning it. What do I do? And then she picks up the paper, and this is a Star News, July 31st. She sees this. She calls this number. And she ends up having a meeting down. In this case, it was at, it's the one behind the library.
Landfall Office Park.
Landfall Office Park, which is kind of behind the library in Landfall. And you can go in there and book rooms, book offices by the day, maybe the hour. Anyway, and so she walks in there and she says, man, I got 100,000 CD coming due and they aren't paying me interest. I want to get this 4.98%. And they say, well, that's great, Olive Oil, but you got to look at the fine print. It says annual percentage yield, yield and deposit amount subject to availability, promotional incentive included, certain restrictions apply. And what happens is they'll say, look, we can give you that rate on $5,000, but we can't give it to you all on the 100, but we got this other annuities that are really great. You want one of those, we can put it in that instead. And what they do, even if you say, no, I want to take you up on it, well, it's $5,000. They're going to a bank and they're paying them a premium. I figured out once it's about $40 to do this. If you did that for $40, potentially they get you in there to meet with her. Now, have any of you ever gone into a timeshare sales situation? Where they got a sales.
They're ruthless. Yep.
They know every trick to manipulate you and get you to do the things. And one of them's just smart enough to get his or her insurance license, and they just go sell these, and they put this. And to be honest, I don't often talk about it, but I met about 10 years ago. I met one of the groups that does this. I think this very one. They work from Florida up. They put in ads every week in another city. And they come and the people come in, and Olive Oil is like a sitting duck. And now they know how much money she has, and it's just, this is
bait. It almost seems not fair. That's like bamboozling. That's awful.
It's bait and switch. It's the ugly part. And guess what? Maybe annuity is the right thing for Olive Oil. Maybe not. They're not going to really look for that. And do you think these guys are selling the annuity with the best deal, the best strategy, or are they selling the one that's paying them the biggest commission or maybe paid for the ad? So there's the ugly side of this that I like to show people. They're powerful for a lot of people. You put it together in a plan, it can be the right thing. But when someone does bait and switch, you got to watch. It's just a whole different beast. So.
Whew, that's crazy. You know what, David? I have a question. I believe, and I'm not sure if I got this to you in time, but we recently, there's Turnip barking in the background. We recently got in a flash report about annuities as an asset class. And I know Jessica's not there, and I'm not sure if we had time to get it to you to print out, but that might be a report that people on right now might be interested in, that we could have Mary send out to them if anybody.
Yeah, if you're interested, we can send that out to you.
Yeah, and I apologize. That's my bad. I didn't get that to you in time. It's one of those things that came in quickly. So interesting.
And also, if you ever have questions, our clients know they can always call us with questions. If you're on here as a visitor and you want to know more or questions about what you have or what you can do, you can always, Amy, you'll put something in the notes for them, right? You can always,
yes.
Or go to CarolinaRetirementPlanners.com. Lots of good videos there, stuffed educational things, as well as now, I guess, 104 of these kind of presentations that are great learning tools. So, okay. I think that pretty much, I hope that was helpful, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and giving a nice balance to all the pieces there.
Absolutely, Dad. That was great.
Okay, what's next?
Well, I believe if y'all have been patient and stayed with us, you get to hear our wine drawing today, right?
That's right. As you know, every week we give away 2 bottles of wine to someone that took the time to come and say, hey, I'm coming, put me in the drawing. If you invite friends and say we invited friends, we'll put an extra in for each friend you invite, and we'll send two bottles to your door by a uniformed employee of the U.S. government. And Amy, our director of client fund, will call you just to find out what your preferences are. She does a great job. People have always raved of helping selecting the wine that will go right with your favorite cuisine there at home. So
yeah, Amy works with Fermental Bottle Shop too. So, all right, our winner this week of 2 bottles of wine is Cindy and Eric. So congratulations, Cindy and Eric. You are our wine winners this week. Yay!
Sorry,
sounds
I'm like
good.
typing and I'm typing and trying to do mental thing. And I have my turnip keeps barking and I have my thing up. Yay! If I turn
just saw
around,
that-
it's barking,
I
yay!
just saw that Dan and Barbara in the Finger Lakes.
We
I'm
are,
envious.
yes.
It's there than it is here. You know.
But congratulations. And if you did not win the wine this week, please enter again next week. We love to give away wine. You just click that you're attending on the Facebook event that we put out each week, and or you respond to the email.
Do we want to look? I look like I've just like been in a look at my hair. There's always I'm like, what's happening at the end of this? Do we want to
And
like tease next week? Ooh.
Next week, we're going to return to inflation, which was so popular. We're going to talk about, the Fed's doing things to fight inflation and a little more insight. What are they doing? Is it effective? What we might expect? Just a more in-depth, hopefully delivered in a fun method way. So
Yeah.
should be good.
Yeah. It's crazy. Inflation. I like it. We never talked about what we're drinking, but I got this snazzy thing from that new wine place over across from by Mayfair. What's that? It's like Toys R Us for adults. It's all like wine and beer and check it out. I forgot what it's called now. They have all over, but anyway. Cheers to next week. We ran late. Bye everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you.